You keep me, never would you leave me. I was made to love and be loved by you. Hey guys, Jesus is almost here. I don't have to prove it to you. He's already proven it to me. And that's enough. And I'm just here to tell anyone who's willing to listen. My friend Haley, God has shown her many seahorses as confirmations. And, we're always closely watching the rapture, me, her, and my other friends. And today, I guess it was yesterday now, but yesterday, he showed her, she asked if he was really, the rapture was really happening this month, November. And 30 minutes later, she looked up and saw this great big cloud shaped like a seahorse. And I believe she saw two of them. So a confirmation on top of the confirmation. In case there was any doubts that is that a coincidence? It's like, no, she saw it. She got a picture of the second one, and it was took up the whole sky. Which reminds me of, I haven't seen them really lately, but months ago, maybe in August, July, something like that, I was seeing different sea animals in the clouds. And one of them, my phone battery had died, but I saw this sea turtle take up the whole sky. I was at the Sheetz gas station. I just looked up. It was like a sea turtle above me. I could see the underside of it. It was just so beautiful. So God really does speak to us. And I just want to say, boy, if you feel like you are just hanging by a thread, make sure it's the hem of his garment. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe Jesus, we're going to be with him any day now. Today now is the 23rd. And, if it's not today, I believe there's a high chance that it's tomorrow. And I'm not setting dates. I'm just saying it really seems like it. Or that it'll at least be this month. But, I'm... if you feel like you're going through something, if you're struggling with things, or just your life is just a mess right now, as long as you're trusting in Jesus, as long as you believe in him, you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to worry about, and that's a comfort to me, because Jesus is almost here, we're almost finished with the race, and boy, I feel like I'm crawling to the finish line. There's so much that I'd rather not get into on here, but just know I'm kind of a mess. It's crazy, but God uses, what does he say, the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And I'm not saying God is calling me foolish, but to the world, a lot of them, they see me as foolish. And, so I think that applies there, which is why, God chose me, as well as many, many, many others, to give dreams and pour out his spirit and visions. He said he would pour it on the whole world. And as we see, that must not mean every single person, but just anyone from all over, because people from all over, not even just Christians, but people of different religions, beliefs, have had dreams from him. And so many Muslims I've heard got saved because Jesus appeared to them in a dream. It's not amazing, So, yeah. You may feel unworthy because you're struggling with something. But hold on to the one who's holding you. He won't let go of you. Never let go of him. Have you, in your brokenness, reached out and touched the hem of his garment? Have you been sick for, 12 years or something? That woman in the Bible had a disease for so many years. All she had to do was touch the hem of his garment. And it's not anything to do with the garment itself. Her faith healed her. God, Jesus healed her because of her faith. Her faith is what saved her. And that's in there to tell us to just have faith in him, to know that he will heal us if we go to him. That's all she did. She went to him because she trusted, she knew that he would heal her, or that he could, and it's in his timing. It's not a promise of, oh, the instant I get saved, or even if you're saved, if you're still struggling with something, it's like the instant I pray to God about healing me from my sickness. It's not like, oh, he didn't do it right away, so he must not be real, or he must not care about me or love me or want me to suffer. It's like, no, he loves you, and he doesn't want us to suffer. He didn't create us to suffer. He doesn't enjoy that at all. But the thing is, it's all about perspective, right? You have to look at things through his lens. Would he rather us suffer forever and ever and ever in hell, or suffer for a short time here on earth? Because I mean, it's looking a little rough tonight. I think the, cool weather and everything, when the seasons change, it kind of messes with my skin a bit. But yeah, I've suffered a lot with bad skin condition, disease, whatever it is, autoimmune disease. Still not 100% sure. But because I'm on Dupixent and have been for like a couple years or so now, I've never gotten like severely bad again with my skin. It just gets a little, like, this is fine. Like, I can still be a human being while doing this, but like before it was so bad I couldn't live. Like, it was bad. But like, so I suffered with severe skin issues for 8 years. And, it's not like God wanted me to. He didn't enjoy that at all. I'm sure of course, why would he? That would be inconsistent with God and his character and what we know about him, right? He takes no pleasure in doing the things that he sometimes allows. He would rather me suffer through 8 years of severe, intense pain until I would finally fully surrender to him. Because I called myself a Christian, but I never really consistently stayed with it. I was just worshiping myself, doing what I liked, and not ever reading my Bible or praying or anything. Just every so many months I'd go to God and be like, oh, please forgive me. It's, I come into my life and it was just a mess. But once I finally surrendered to God, and I was like, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't even think when I went to him like that, I don't remember. Maybe I did, but I don't remember asking him to heal my skin in that moment. I was just like, I was just so sick of being so sinful, just living in my flesh every day. And I'm not perfect now. I still mess up a lot, and it's not great. But at least I keep going back to him, and I'm trying to focus, trying to keep my eyes on him. And I'm not always perfect at that, but none of us are. And it's not an excuse to do anything sinful, but, this is something that you just deal with. Like, this is part of the Christian walk, the struggle of you are in the spirit, but you still have a flesh body on, and your flesh wants to sin so badly. So I forget where I was even going with this. Yeah, he wanted me to suffer. He allowed me to suffer for 8 years severely badly. I wanted to not be alive. It was so bad. But he allowed that pain because that's what brought me to him. Now, you could argue whether or not I was genuinely saved before that, even though if I was genuinely with him, I probably wouldn't have been living in sin as much as I was, like one foot in the world, it's not great. I knew it was wrong, but I wasn't, denying my flesh. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, you can argue when I was actually saved. But the point is, God allowed me to suffer as a consequence of my sin, because while we're free of the consequences of eternal punishment, damnation, and hell, God can give us consequences for, at least for living in sin now, at the very least, right? So God would much rather me suffer really badly for 8 years than suffer infinity times worse forever in hell, if I wasn't truly with him. And so it often takes us suffering to be turned into diamonds. That's how diamonds are made, and that's by God's design. They take coal, right? Isn't it coal? Something that's just so it's literally so infamous for being worthless that they say, oh, Santa's gonna put coal in your stocking. But coal, so hopefully that is coal that turns into diamonds, right? Isn't it? Otherwise that makes no sense. But yeah, God is refining us into diamonds, but we still have to go through fire, the sanctification process, which can be painful, but it's so important and so worth it. Hope this blessed someone. God bless you guys. Peace. Every prayer holds my